in a room full of people and there's a camera on you, it's as weird to kiss a woman as it is for a man.
Okay.
Whether you're a straight or gay or whatever.
Both of them are kind of taboos in society still. You know, the acceptance of even somebody being a sex worker is not, you know, people haven't accepted that yet, at least in our country.
Hello everyone, you're watching PeepingMoon.com. I'm Kashita Sahani and today I'm extremely pleased to be chatting with Satyadeep Misra and Mrinal Dutt, who are here for an important conversation for their upcoming show, History. Hi Satyadeep, hi Mrinal, how have you two been?
Very good.
Hello. Yeah.
So firstly, tell me that, in Indian cinema earlier, the portrayal of gay was not at all explicit. It was shown as something, as an insult to the society. Like if I say, for an example, in the movie Fashion, the role that Sameer Soni played, it was shown as in that it's something bad, it's something unusual that's happening. But now, with the changing wave in cinema, especially web, we have a chance to portray strong characters like these. So, do you think that with your show and with shows like this, with roles like this, the society's, acceptance towards such characters in real life will change?
Yeah. So, there will be a growing acceptance for sure. I mean, there is a gradual change always. Also, I feel that this sort of very stereotypical portrayal of a gay man in Indian cinema, I think even that perception has changed. I always say this, that you can meet a gay man somewhere and his sexuality is never something that you will register.
Yeah.
This is not something that people wear on their sleeves. So, that sort of understanding of a gay man has sort of changed over the years. So, which is why I feel that this sort of the very stereotypical depiction of the gay man has also changed on screen. And I think this is just a result of the fact that people have become more aware and more people are openly gay, and people do see that, not everybody behaves in that very sort of stereotypical way.
Definitely.
So
adding to
that, I'll say, see, things do not change over, just a film or a series coming out. But yes, it will kind of bring awareness, and it's mainstream, so people will get to see it, and things are changing. People, their thinkings are evolving. Content like this has happened of late recently also. So it's gradually changing, and so we hope that it's a step in the right direction, and people through this story also understand that it's as normal as anything. And I don't blame them also, actually. It's conditioning and perception. So वो थोड़ा समय लगेगा, but yeah, I think we are getting there. We are surely inching forward for sure.
I'm sure. Yeah. And talking about your roles, was there any hesitation at the beginning to pick up a role like this? Because as Satyadeep, your like Kunal's and Sakshi's son and your on-screen son calls you yuck, like gay couples. So there are still people who actually in real life also consider them as something bad. So was there any sort of hesitation?
Oh, I think when they sort of very quickly over a phone call told me what the story was, I was actually really interested, because again, this is getting to play a gay character, but the story is a lot more than that. And I think I just wanted sort of comfort from the makers of the show as far as how they would treat the story. I didn't want this to be like a sort of titillating sex comedy.
Yeah, it's a misrepresentation of how,
Yeah, I wanted this to, to sort of show something that exists on the ground and be real, and for the characters to be real. So yeah, I never had a problem with it, and I think both Mrinal and I would agree that the script was really well written. I don't think either of us had that sort of that second thought of whether I should say yes to playing this role. And I also have to say that because I sort of know Mrinal sort of personally for a while, when I was told that Mrinal is playing Preet, I said, oh, okay, yeah.
I have to add to that story. I don't know if you know it. So to begin with, again, what was very important for me was for it to be dealt with sensitivity and, like just done. Usra, I don't know if you know, bro, there was somebody else on board before you. So I was a little iffy of romancing that person on screen and when I got to know it's you, I was like, chalo, ye to bahut sahi ho gaya hai. So yeah, I mean, see, the thing is, I won't lie, I was very excited. I just had a few questions which went out of the way once I sat down with the Tanveer, the creator, and the writers also. But mere andar bhi halki si jhijak thi.
Okay.
And I wanted to push myself further and break that because it's again that conditioning. I had questions in my mind. I was also partially a little skeptical of doing it. Also, mainly because I was concerned how it's going to be treated, how it's going to be, how the story is set. But how once I understood ki ye log kaisa karne wale hain and they're set out to do it right, I was on. And then again, when I knew Sattu was coming on board, I was like, chalo, this is one battle won. And then again, only excited, I was too.
You can tell me after this interview is over who was supposed to play it before me.
Yeah, I will. I'm sure Rashida
you
wants to
can
know.
tell now also, that's not an issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Rashida would also want to know, but unfortunately, Rashida, I won't get into that.
Oh, no problem. Completely understood. Okay,
Yeah.
so talking as you said that romantic before Satyadeep was on board was you were a little hesitant, but I would want to know how was it performing those intimate scenes? Did you ever feel out of your element while doing those scenes?
Everyone asks me this question and I tell them all the same thing, that when you're in a room full of people and there's a camera on you, it's as weird to kiss a woman as it is for a man.
Okay.
Whether you're a straight or gay or whatever, you're worried about the camera angle. You're worried, hope your breath is okay. You hope that you pray that the other person's breath is okay. Those are the issues that are going through your head. So it's a very mechanical process usually. And I think anybody who's actually done it on screen will tell you that, but having said that, we did have these conversations with Prashant, our director, and there is a pretty lengthy scene which people, when they watch the show, they'll see. And I think he'd actually worked on it to the extent that he had a reference for it. And in terms of the fact that we knew how the camera was going to move from which side to which side. And so we had time to, even between Mrinal and I, discuss it to see how you would go about it. Because
it was very collaborative on that level. It was very collaborative. Like they had us sit down and, heard us and, whatever the questions or whatever our apprehensions were. So wo baith ke, everybody came on the same page. So as he's saying, it was, all of it put together, everybody working in together and really collaborating and giving each other like the space to say and voice out what they feel about the story. So, yeah.
Okay. And, I watched the promo and the trailer, and there's this dialogue where Priyamani says that, I just tell my kids that I'm a slut rather than telling that their dad is gay. So even in real life, there are so many similar statements that are made comparing the two and giving comments on both. How fair do you think that is? Because one, it's not a choice. Being gay is not a choice. It's something that you are. And two, even with calling someone a slut or that, all of that is also very derogatory. So how do you take it as?
I think you should take this first.
Again, I think, as Mrinal mentioned, it's a question of conditioning. We do live in a society where people still have a problem with same-sex relationships. And to a greater extent than they would have a problem with a parent, either father or mother, sort of stepping out of the marriage and having an extramarital affair. They're all commonplace, but there's just that difference in the sort of perception. And the part of the reason why a show like this is important is to say that, these are all sort of, it's like you can't judge somebody because you think that the sins that they commit are greater than the sins that you commit. It's a bit like that.
See, as you said, it's pretty natural and it's somebody's choice to do what they really want to do. So, I mean, yeah, it's not fair to call either one of the two in a very derogatory way. But yes, I mean, both of them are kind of taboos in society still. You know, the acceptance of even somebody being a sex worker is not, you know, people haven't accepted that yet, at least in our country. So yeah, it's not. I mean, to draw comparisons, it really doesn't draw comparison, but it's just something, you know, the character says in a moment of helplessness. You know, um, yeah. I mean, yeah. There's not really you know, comparison to it.
Definitely, agreed. And talking about the plagiarism of the poster, the entire controversy that happened, of course, Alt apologized after that, and the poster was removed. But how responsible do you feel as actors about such things that happen, to your show? Because I was just recently talking to Priyamani, and she said that as actors, we don't have the creative liberty, and we are not involved in the process of making anything such as the poster. So,
See, to be really honest, we are the wrong people to, you know, question this too. I mean, yeah, we remotely do not have any idea where it came from, where what happened. So yeah, I mean, do you want to add anything to that?
okay. No,
No, yeah,
actually, my
exactly the
question
same
is,
thing.
as actors, do you feel a certain sense of responsibility on your shoulders? Because in the end, you are representing the show, is what I mean to ask.
You know, I'll draw an analogy. It's like a vendor who hasn't been paid for months by a producer, who has a problem with, you know, and they say, yaar, hame itne din se paisa nahi mila. I'm as far removed from that process as an actor on a
Okay.
particular show as I am from, you know, the making of a poster.
Okay.
At least still it's brought to my notice. So yeah, so I think we again the wrong people to be addressing this question.
There are many people involved. You know, it's very collaborative. People have different, you know, expertise doing different things. So yeah, far from.
Okay. Okay. So apart from, of course, you two, Preet and Kunal, there has been Arjun Mathur, who played the role of Gay successfully in Made in Heaven, and he received an Emmy nomination for that. Do you think that comes across as a big validation for such roles in India?
Well, I have actually played a gay character before in a show called Kinkistan on MX Player, which was 3 years ago, but still, you know, I think I get at least a couple of messages in my Instagram inbox every day about somebody who's watched that show and has really loved it. Um, so, so yeah, I mean, there is. I remember, I think somebody wrote a rather scathing article many years ago about how people who played gay characters, their careers have suffered. It's and I can't remember who wrote it, but it's the complete opposite. You know, it's
Yeah.
people want to find challenging roles to do, and this is that. I mean, some roles are challenging because of the physicality involved. Some roles are challenging because you have to sort of put your, you know, because of the mind space that you have to be in to play this character. So yeah, I mean, more power to everybody who sort of makes a choice which is slightly sort of removed from the common path. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, kudos to shows like this. As you rightly said, gay characters are very misrepresented. And to have an inclusive society, we need to talk about these parts. We need to have as much content. And again, the content needs to be inclusive. It needs to be told like two different people. I can assure you, I mean, at least that's what I feel. If you see two episodes down, I think two men in love will disappear for you. You'll see two human beings in love, you know?
Yeah.
So it's great. I mean, there should be more content, you know, talking or, you know, just dwelling into their lives and stuff. So it's great on all of these. And there's a lot of good stuff which has come off late, even Aligarh, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's great. The more space
I'm
we have
sure.
to create this kind of stuff,
Yeah.
the better the environment to do and create, I feel.
Yeah. Okay. And how will you take it as if after the show and people have of course watched it, people actually think that you're gay in real life? How will you take it as? Because it has happened. I have heard actors saying before that they have played such a character and they go out and people actually think they're gay.
Oh, it's already happening. I get a few messages in my inbox every day. But you know, there are some people who can sort of separate the art from the artist, and there are some people who can't. This is something that they need to figure out. It's not something that I need to figure out. And I think, quite frankly, if I was worried about any sort of stigma being attached to me as a result of me playing the character that I have, I would not have done it. So I don't think that worries me. It is what it is.
And some of those people are real audiences, कि मतलब वो besides the gay part, अगर कुछ action भी है, कोई villain भी है, तो वो लोग message करते हैं. I have friends from other shows, with crime dramas where उनको message करेंगे कि आपने अच्छा किया उसको मारा, आप उसको तो मार ही देना चाहिए था. Like they get so involved in it. So this is that naive, or I don't know what word to use, that audience. But मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है. Like people get affected, people cringe, people do all of that. That is, I mean, that's a step forward. I mean, that's the
I think it's proof that you have played the part well if they are actually thinking that you are that person in reality.
Yeah, that also, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. And talking about the web space with so much, content-driven shows coming, films coming, do you think talent is finally getting its due?
I think everyone's getting their due. I think there's actors who have work all the time. There are technicians who have work all the time. And the state of the planet is a very unhappy one at the moment. But if there's one area where there's so much consumption and demand, it's this space. People are sitting at home and are watching stuff. So in a very strange way, I'm sure that the entire industry is really grateful because there is so much work happening. I think I'm sure I speak from now also. We have a bunch of shows lined up. So there is, and the sort of roles that you're being entrusted with is something that maybe you wouldn't get as an actor in a commercial feature film.
True.
So it's a great time to tell stories, basically. As Sattu said, everybody, not just actors, technicians, everybody who's been, and trust me on it, there are a lot of talented people, young directors, writers. It just gives them space to explore and create, and those stories being told which would never get a space, like either a film or a TV. There wasn't a middle ground to just purely tell a story and stick to your gut with what you want to say. So this is a great space, great environment, and that is why stories like History or other shows come out and surprise you, because it gives you the space to try out brave stories, and it's great.
Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, thank you so much, Mrinal and Satyadeep, for chatting with me. All the very best for his story.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Mrinal. See you.
Bye.